So, today marks the 1 year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. And apparently, a lot of people in the left-wing media are literally trying to herald this guy as a hero still. And not only that, I looked at I was on Facebook like a couple of hours ago, and one of the local news media outlets here basically posted it about him. Now, I gotta say this right here. In my humble opinion, I will say this, like, George Floyd was never a saint to begin with. Now, yeah, he resisted arrest, while he was being confronted by the cops. Not only that, nobody wants to talk about the $20 bill, the fake $20 bill that was given to the store but yeah. And then I know last month, I think I wished I had talked about it last month. Now, last month, the officer, Derek Chauvin, was charged with, I believe, manslaughter or something like that. But in my humble opinion, that verdict came out to be literally nothing more than just, say, mob rule. Yeah, I mean, in my humble opinion, the verdict of the Derek Chauvin trial was nothing more than just mob rule. But I don't see why should George Floyd be remembered. I understand that people should pay homage to, said individual. But I'm gonna tell you this: George Floyd was nowhere in the likeness of maybe Dr. King. George Floyd was nowhere in the likeness of. I'm gonna tell you this: George Floyd was nowhere a saint to begin with. I mean, he made poor lifestyle choices before his life ended. I mean, unfortunately, he lost his life in the process. But to herald this guy as if he should be a saint, it's ridiculous. I mean, throughout the whole time, this guy was literally nothing more than just, a guy who just made a lot of poor lifestyle choices. I mean, and like I've said, and time and time again, and plenty of other videos, when you make poor lifestyle choices, just like unfortunately what George Floyd did, you're literally going to be dead or in the joint. You're talking about being, or in other words, like I said, you're going to be judged by 12 or carried out by 6. Now, let me go on record and say this. I never met George Floyd personally. I never knew the guy. And, and say for instance, like if I was a liberal leftist, I'm literally the type of guy that wouldn't trip because, growing up, I used to be a liberal myself. And like I've grown up in one of the worst neighborhoods of Chicago, um, where I have to worry about, dodging bullets every single time. Um, but at the same time, I was not trying to be, I already, I'm, I've been an individual that literally knew right from wrong, and you know, I literally, I literally don't, I really, I'm really that type of individual that doesn't want to, um, that isn't all about, doing any kind of, goofy stuff. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought like a child. But when I became a man, I put those childish things away. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11 in the Bible. But the fascinating part is the the most fascinating part is that it's always the liberal left that wants to antagonize me and demonize me as if I'm an individual that doesn't care about humanity. Again, I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to lay this right here, right now. George Floyd was no saint to begin with. I mean, forget about his criminal history. I'm just saying, it's like when he was apprehended by the cops, you know, and while in the process of him being arrested, unfortunately for Mr. Floyd, he was resisting arrest and causing additional trouble. Now, yes, I understand. Um, I understand. He was literally, he he was literally, high on heavy drugs, and being apprehended by a police officer while you're high on heavy drugs and what have you can be a bit of an issue. I mean, and you also got to factor in that that even when you're being apprehended, that don't mean you can you know fight off fight off the cops. I mean, the cops are there for one thing, to serve and protect, not to serve and and kiss your what. And Brandon Tatum was talking about this one video yesterday. It was about this cop who apprehended a black suspect who drew a gun near them. And obviously the black suspect did not get shot or killed by a cop, because had that were to happen, we will see like nonstop coverage on the Satanist media outlets. I mean, believe it or not, especially Clown News Network and MSNBC or DNC TV, whatever the heck. But I love it how the left likes to say that I, have no remorse for humanity or whatever the case may be in regards to this. You know, I'm gonna be very honest. I did not like the fact that Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck. I didn't like that. You know, I think that was really wrong. But at the exact same time, I am not going to herald George Floyd as a freaking saint. I mean, seriously. I mean, I and it's usually the black leftists that likes to attack me on this. But even these so-called white liberals who pretend they give two flying flips about black America, in which obviously they do not, because they never seen all the problems in black America anyway. But yeah, I'm also getting attacked by white liberals on this issue too. I mean, I mean, straight up. But I'm just I and I've said this 100 million times before. I've had multiple police encounters in my life, and you know, it has never gone out of control with them. Every single time when I've been apprehended by them, you know, it's like I do what they say, and it's like this. I do what they say, and I obviously don't give them shit. You know, that's our problem. You know, just I'm gonna tell you this right here. We don't have a skin problem. We have a sin problem. I've said that before too. But obviously, I get constantly attacked by people on the left. And while we're at it, let's not even get started on this Black Lives Matter activist who was shot and killed. Black Lives Matter didn't even bother to speak up about it. There was no coverage on the Satanist media outlets either. And I can 100% guarantee she will not get like multiple funerals, let alone a freaking gold casket like Mr. Floyd did. You know, this past weekend, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of shootings in Chicago. Which resulted in a couple of fatalities. Are they going to get multiple funerals and things like that, and a gold casket like George Floyd did? No, I can 100% guarantee you that. A couple of people got shot and killed in Milwaukee this past weekend as well. Are they going to get gold caskets and multiple funerals like George Floyd? No. But I'm just saying, the media and these leftists are insane when it comes to heralding dead criminals as if they were saints. Yes, and that's our problem with today, America. This is all I have to say right here, right now. I am Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. I am signing off.